If you're over 60, the meats you eat every week could be quietly destroying your health. I'm talking about meats that look healthy, that even doctors and dietitians often recommend, but inside your body, they're silently damaging your kidneys, inflaming your joints, and speeding up memory loss faster than aging ever could. And here's the shocking truth. One of these meats, the one that's often marketed as a clean, lean option, has been shown to increase the risk of cognitive decline by nearly 50%. And that's from eating it just once a week. But don't panic, because there's also good news. Some meats aren't just safe, they're healing. The right ones can lower your cholesterol, reduce painful inflammation, rebuild your joints, and even improve your memory. In fact, one of them was shown to reduce senior knee pain by 44% in just 2 months, faster than most supplements. So in this video, I'm revealing the 4 dangerous meats you should never touch again, and the 4 powerful healing meats you should eat daily to stay strong, sharp, and independent for decades to come. Make sure you watch all the way to number 1, because it might completely change how you think about red meat. Number 4 on the list is one that shocks almost everyone: turkey breast. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Turkey? Isn't that one of the healthiest meats I can eat? After all, it's low in fat, high in protein, and it's been promoted for decades as the perfect lean option for heart health and weight control. Doctors casually recommend it, hospitals serve it, and deli counters proudly slap on stickers that say 97% fat-free. It looks like the safest choice in the world. But here's the truth they don't tell you. Most store-bought turkey breast, especially the sliced kind you find at the deli, is one of the most deceptive meats for seniors. Why? Because it's ultra-processed. Those thin, convenient slices are soaked in preservatives and chemicals that extend shelf life but quietly damage your body. One of the biggest culprits is something called sodium phosphate. Now, on paper, sodium phosphate sounds harmless. It helps keep the meat moist, it makes it last longer, and it keeps that nice pink color that looks so appealing in the package. But inside your body, it's a completely different story. Sodium phosphate spikes phosphate levels in your bloodstream. And when phosphate levels are too high, your bones are forced to release calcium to keep the balance. Over time, that weakens your bones, which is the last thing any senior needs when bone density is already declining after 60. It doesn't stop there. Elevated phosphate levels also put major stress on your kidneys, forcing them to work harder and harder just to filter your blood. And if you're already at risk for kidney issues, which many seniors are, this can quietly accelerate kidney decline without you even realizing it. In fact, a 2021 study in the Journal of Renal Nutrition found that seniors who consumed just 75 milligrams of added phosphate per day from processed meats had a 28% faster decline in kidney function over just 2 years. And here's the kicker. A single deli turkey sandwich can give you double that amount in one sitting. Let me give you a real-life example. Susan, a 68-year-old retired nurse from Phoenix, thought she was doing everything right. For years, she had a turkey sandwich for lunch almost every single day. Lean, simple, low fat. She believed it was the healthiest choice. But during a routine checkup, her new kidney specialist reviewed her diet and immediately flagged the deli meat. He told her flat out, "These phosphates are wrecking your filtration rate." Susan was shocked. She thought turkey was safe. But she made the switch. Instead of buying packaged deli slices, she started roasting whole turkey breast at home, seasoning it herself and avoiding preservatives altogether. The result? Within just 3 months, her kidney function improved and her blood pressure dropped from 146/90 to 128/80. Just by swapping one healthy food for its clean alternative, she turned her health around. So here's the bottom line. If you love turkey, you don't have to give it up completely, but you do need to be smart about it. Avoid deli slices, avoid smoked or cured styles, and always check the label for red flag ingredients like phosphates, nitrates, or natural flavorings. And if you think turkey breast is bad, Wait until you hear about the next one on the list. It's far more popular, far more addictive, and far more destructive, and chances are it's sitting in your fridge right now. Number 3 on our danger list is one of the most beloved, comforting, and addictive meats of all time: bacon. Now let's be honest, bacon has a special place in our culture. The sizzling sound, the rich aroma, the crispy bite, it feels like comfort on a plate. Many of today's seniors grew up with bacon as a breakfast staple, and for some, it's the one food they just can't imagine giving up. But here's the harsh reality. Bacon is one of the most inflammatory, artery-hardening meats you can eat after the age of 60. And the very qualities that make it so irresistible, the fat, the salt, the smoky flavor, are also the things that quietly destroy your health over time. Bacon is loaded with saturated fat and sodium, two well-known culprits in heart disease and high blood pressure. But that's not the biggest problem. The real danger comes from the preservatives used to cure bacon, nitrates and nitrites. When these preservatives hit the acid in your stomach, they can turn into nitrosamines, carcinogenic compounds that have been directly linked to colon and stomach cancers. And if that wasn't enough, in seniors, they also accelerate something called arterial calcification. That's when your blood vessels become stiff and hardened with calcium deposits. The result? Less oxygen flow to your brain and your heart, raising your risk of strokes, silent strokes, and memory decline. In fact, a 2022 study published in Circulation found that seniors who ate processed meats like bacon 3 times per week had a 32% higher rate of coronary artery calcification and a 21% increased risk of silent strokes. Silent strokes are especially dangerous because you don't even know they're happening. They rob your brain of memory and clarity without obvious warning signs. Let me share a story. George, a 72-year-old retired firefighter from Georgia, had eaten bacon his whole life. He loved it so much, he admitted breakfast didn't feel complete without a few crispy strips. But after suffering a mild stroke, George attended a stroke recovery seminar at his senior center. There, a dietitian handed out a pamphlet with one bold headline: "Bacon, your silent stroke risk." That headline shook him. George went home that day and threw out every package of bacon in his fridge. The very next morning, his daughter brought him nitrate-free turkey bacon to try. At first, he said it wasn't the same, but he stuck with it. A year later, his cholesterol dropped from 217 to 176. Even better, he reported that his energy had returned and he was walking 3 miles a day without the brain fog that had plagued him before. So, what's the takeaway? If bacon is your guilty pleasure, you don't have to banish it forever, but you must treat it with caution. At the very most, once a week, and never cook it until it's charred because burnt bacon creates even more nitrosamines. Better yet, switch to nitrate-free turkey bacon, or even crispy tofu strips seasoned with smoked paprika. They may not taste exactly the same, but they protect your arteries and your brain. And here's the scary part. As dangerous as bacon is, the next meat on this list is even more deceptive. It's one that seniors across the country eat almost daily, believing it's the cleanest, safest protein of all. But the truth is, it may be poisoning your liver in ways you'd never expect. Now, number 2 on our list might surprise you even more, because it's the one meat almost every senior turns to when they're trying to eat clean: grilled, skinless chicken breast. It sounds perfect, right? High protein, low fat, no skin, and grilled instead of fried. On the surface, it checks every single box for a so-called healthy choice. But here's the disturbing truth. Most chicken breasts in the United States, more than 99%, are factory farmed. And when you eat them, you're not just getting protein. You're also getting residues of antibiotics, synthetic hormones, and inflammatory omega-6 fats that were never meant to be in your body. Why is that? Because these chickens are raised in cramped, stressful environments, fed genetically modified corn and soy, and injected with growth agents to make them grow unnaturally fast. And those growth agents build up especially in the breast meat, the very cut that seniors are told to eat the most. But the danger doesn't stop with how the chicken is raised. It gets even worse when you grill it. High-heat grilling creates compounds called heterocyclic amines, chemicals linked to colon, pancreatic, and liver cancers. And when you eat that meat regularly, you're exposing yourself to a steady stream of toxins your body struggles to clear. In fact, a 2023 study published in Environmental Health Perspectives found that seniors who consumed grilled factory farm chicken 3 to 4 times per week had a 24% higher rate of liver enzyme elevation and a 37% increase in markers of systemic inflammation. That includes CRP and interleukin-6, two of the most important markers linked to accelerated aging. In plain terms, that healthy grilled chicken dinner may be speeding up your body's decline without you even realizing it. Let me share an example. Harold, a 66-year-old diabetic from Michigan, ate grilled chicken breast almost every single day. He believed it was helping him manage his blood sugar and keep his meals lean. But over time, his joints became stiff and inflamed. At first, he blamed it on aging. But during a session with his physical therapist, she joked, "Harold, you might be overcooking something that's underhelping." She explained how factory farm chicken and high-heat grilling could actually create hidden toxins that inflame the body. Harold was skeptical, but he researched it himself that night and was stunned. He decided to make a change. Instead of factory farm chicken breast, he switched to organic, pasture-raised chicken thighs, baked low and slow in the oven with herbs. Within 6 weeks, his liver enzymes dropped back to normal, his energy level shot up, and he said the stiffness in his joints melted away. He even joked, "I feel like I traded in a rusty old engine for a smoother ride." So what can you do? You don't have to throw chicken out of your diet completely, but you should choose wisely. Look for pasture-raised or organic chicken, preferably thighs or drumsticks instead of just breasts. Cook them by baking, slow cooking, or braising, not by grilling or microwaving, which intensifies the toxins. And whatever you do, avoid the charred, blackened pieces, because those are the most dangerous of all. Here's the takeaway. What's sold as the cleanest, safest meat may actually be one of the most harmful when it's factory farmed and cooked the wrong way. But as bad as this is, the most dangerous meat of all is still ahead. It's often marketed as gourmet, luxurious, and even heart-healthy. But inside your body, it may be doing irreversible damage to your brain, your kidneys, and your joints. We've reached number 1 on our danger list. And this one may shock you because it's often sold as a luxury meat, something special, tender, and even marketed as heart-healthy. I'm talking about veal, and especially veal organ meats. Now, veal has a reputation. It's tender, it's lean, it's considered gourmet. Some doctors even suggest it as a lighter, cleaner red meat alternative to beef. And on the surface, that sounds like a safe swap. But when you look inside the body, veal, especially the liver, kidneys, and heart cuts, may be the most dangerous meat of all for seniors. Here's why. Veal contains some of the highest concentrations of heme iron and purines of any meat. Now, a little heme iron is essential. It helps your blood carry oxygen. But too much creates oxidative stress, what researchers call internal rusting. Over time, that rust damages your cells, your organs, and accelerates the entire aging process. And those purines, they get broken down into uric acid. When uric acid builds up, it triggers painful gout, kidney stones, and joint inflammation. It can even increase your risk of stroke. Seniors are especially vulnerable because the body naturally struggles more with clearing uric acid after 60. The science is sobering. A 2022 study in the Journal of Gerontology Medical Sciences found that seniors who ate high heme iron meats like veal more than once per week had a 31% faster rate of cognitive decline and a 49% higher risk of uric acid buildup that required medical intervention. Imagine losing memory and mobility, not because of age alone, but because of what's on your plate. And here's something else that's rarely talked about: how veal is raised. Many veal calves are kept in confined crates and fed iron-deficient diets so their meat stays pale and tender. That means you're eating a product from an animal that's metabolically stressed, and all of that stress is concentrated in the meat. Do you really want that fueling your body at 70 or 80 years old? Let me give you an example. Dorothy, a 74-year-old piano teacher from Pennsylvania, thought she was helping her body by eating veal cutlets and liver every week. She believed the iron would give her strength. But over time, she developed toe pain, fatigue, and stiffness in her hands. At first, she chalked it up to arthritis and age. But during a visit to her chiropractor, she was handed a printout about high purine meats and uric acid overload. One word was circled in red: veal. Dorothy was floored. That very night, she went home and cleared her freezer of veal. Within just weeks of cutting it out, her uric acid levels dropped from 8.2 to 6.0. Even more incredible, the joint stiffness in her hands and feet practically vanished. She could play piano for hours again, something she thought she'd lost forever. So here's the takeaway. When it comes to veal and organ meats, moderation is not good enough. After 60, your body simply can't afford the extra oxidative stress and uric acid load. The safest option is to avoid veal altogether, especially the liver, kidneys, and heart cuts. If you want red meat, choose small portions of adult grass-fed beef instead. Or better yet, go for the healing meats we'll reveal in just a moment. Meats that not only nourish your body, but actively repair the damage. Because here's the truth: not all meats are created equal. Some age you faster, while others can make you feel younger, stronger, and sharper. And now that we've covered the 4 dangerous ones, let's flip the script and reveal the 4 healing meats every senior should eat daily, starting with an old-fashioned favorite that most people overlook. Now that we've covered the 4 most dangerous meats, let's flip the script. Because here's the truth: not all meats are harmful. In fact, some are so powerful they can actually help reverse joint pain, rebuild muscle, sharpen memory, and support your heart. So let's start with number 4 on the list of healing meats, one that's been unfairly ignored in the US, but maybe one of the most powerful proteins you can eat after 60. Grass-fed lamb. Now, when you think of healthy meats, lamb probably isn't the first that comes to mind. Most people overlook it, assuming it's too fatty, too rich, or just too old-fashioned. But here's what you need to know. If it's grass-fed, lamb is a powerhouse of anti-inflammatory nutrients that can make a dramatic difference in senior health. Unlike grain-finished red meats, grass-fed lamb is naturally rich in a compound called conjugated linoleic acid, or CLA. CLA is a fatty acid that's been shown to fight inflammation, preserve lean muscle mass, and even support immune function. That's huge after 60, when muscle loss and inflammation are 2 of the biggest drivers of decline. But lamb offers more. It's also high in vitamin B12 and zinc. Vitamin B12 supports nerve repair and red blood cell production, which helps keep your energy and focus sharp. Zinc is essential for immunity and healing, especially important for seniors who want to recover faster and stay resilient against infections. And here's the kicker: because most grass-fed lamb is raised on pasture, it's far less likely to be pumped full of hormones and antibiotics like factory-farmed beef or chicken. You're getting clean protein, clean fat, and nutrients your body can actually use. The science backs this up. A 2022 study published in the British Journal of Nutrition found that seniors who consumed grass-fed lamb 3 times per week for 6 weeks experienced a 19% improvement in lower body strength and a 27% drop in inflammatory markers like TNF-alpha. Even more impressive, their HDL, the so-called good cholesterol that protects your arteries, went up by 12%. That's real, measurable healing power from food. Let me share a story. Walter, a 70-year-old woodworker from Colorado, had battled joint pain for years. Standing at his workbench was becoming harder and harder. One Sunday at church, he mentioned his pain to a friend. That friend handed him a small container of homemade lamb stew and said, "Try this. It changed my knees." Walter was skeptical, but he gave it a shot. The next week, he bought grass-fed lamb from a local farmer's market and started making slow-cooked stews with rosemary and thyme. Within 2 months, his C-reactive protein, a key marker of inflammation, dropped from 5.4 to 2.1. Even better, he no longer needed afternoon pain relievers just to get through the day. For the first time in years, he could stand at his workbench without stiffness holding him back. So here's the bottom line. Lamb isn't just meat from the past. For seniors, grass-fed lamb can be one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory proteins on the planet. Just make sure the label says 100% grass-fed or pasture-raised. Avoid anything labeled grain-finished because that means it loses much of its healing power. Cook it low and slow with herbs like rosemary and thyme, which not only add flavor but also help neutralize harmful compounds from cooking. Done right, lamb can become one of your most powerful allies in staying strong and pain-free after 60. And if lamb surprises you, wait until you see what's next. Coming in at number 3 is a tiny, humble fish that packs so much healing power, it's been shown to improve memory, strengthen bones, and even beat fish oil supplements head-to-head. Number 3 on our healing meats list is one of the most underrated superfoods on the planet, sardines. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Sardines? Really? Maybe you picture a tiny, smelly fish packed into a can and it doesn't sound very appealing. But here's the truth. Sardines are one of the most nutrient-dense, healing foods seniors can eat. And if you give them a chance, they might just transform your health. Here's why. Sardines are absolutely loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. These are the building blocks your body uses to protect your heart, support brain function, and keep your joints flexible. After 60, omega-3s are essential for fighting inflammation, which is the root cause of so many age-related problems, stiff joints, memory decline, and even heart disease. But sardines go beyond omega-3s. They're also one of the few natural foods that deliver vitamin D, calcium, and vitamin B12 all in one serving. That's like a multivitamin in a little fish. Seniors often suffer from low vitamin D, which weakens bones, slows down cognition, and drains energy. Just 2 ounces of sardines provide over 40% of your daily vitamin D needs, along with the calcium to strengthen bones and the B12 to keep your nerves and memory sharp. And unlike larger fish like tuna or salmon, sardines don't accumulate mercury. Their small size and short lifespan keep them safe, clean, and toxin-free. That means you get all the benefits of fish without the heavy metal risks. The science is remarkable. A 2023 study published in Nutrients found that seniors who ate sardines 5 times per week for just 8 weeks experienced a 17% improvement in cognitive reaction time, a 24% drop in triglycerides, and significantly less daily joint pain. In other words, sardines support your brain, your heart, and your joints, all at once. Let me share a story. Linda, a 67-year-old retired schoolteacher from Oregon, heard a doctor on the radio claim that sardines were better than fish oil pills. At first, she laughed and thought, there's no way that little fish can be stronger than a supplement. But curiosity got the better of her. She picked up a can of wild-caught sardines packed in olive oil at her grocery store. She mashed them with mustard and spread them on whole grain crackers. To her surprise, she loved it. Within 3 months of adding sardines to her diet a few times a week, Linda's triglycerides dropped from 185 to 124. Even more amazing, she noticed her memory improving. She joked that she no longer had to check her calendar to remember her grandkids' birthdays. The dates just came to her naturally. So how can you add sardines to your diet? Look for wild-caught sardines packed in water or extra virgin olive oil. Avoid those packed in soybean oil, which cancels out many of the benefits. If you find them a bit too salty, rinse them lightly before eating. Then get creative. Mash them with mustard, mix them into a salad, or spread them on crackers with a squeeze of lemon. They're fast, versatile, inexpensive, and one of the most powerful foods you can add to your diet after 60. And as powerful as sardines are, the next healing meat might surprise you even more. It's not trendy, it's not pretty, and most people haven't eaten it since childhood. But it's one of the richest natural sources of collagen on Earth, and it's been shown to dramatically reduce joint pain in seniors within just weeks. Number 2 on our list of healing meats is one that almost no one talks about anymore: beef tendon. Now, I can already imagine some of you raising your eyebrows. Tendon? Isn't that just tough, chewy connective tissue that people throw away? Well, yes, it's not trendy, and it doesn't look pretty, but here's the truth. Beef tendon may be one of the most powerful, natural sources of healing nutrition for seniors, especially if you're battling joint pain, stiffness, or fragile skin. Here's why. Tendon is rich in collagen, glycine, and proline, the exact amino acids your body needs to rebuild cartilage, repair joints, and restore skin elasticity. After the age of 60, your body's natural collagen production drops dramatically. That's why your joints start to ache, your skin becomes thinner, and even wounds take longer to heal. While collagen powders and supplements exist, whole food sources like beef tendon provide not only collagen, but also essential cofactors like copper and vitamin C that help your body actually absorb and use it. The best part? When beef tendon is cooked properly, slow simmered until it turns gelatinous and tender, that collagen breaks down into bioavailable peptides your body can put straight to work. It's like giving your joints the raw materials they've been starving for. And the science proves it. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Clinical Rheumatology looked at seniors with osteoarthritis who ate 60 grams of slow-cooked beef tendon 3 times a week. After just 8 weeks, participants reported a 32% improvement in knee flexibility and a 44% reduction in morning joint stiffness. Imagine cutting your daily stiffness nearly in half just by adding the right food to your diet. Let me share a story. Paul, a 75-year-old gardener from North Carolina, loved working in his yard but struggled with terrible knee pain. He wore a brace every morning just to get through a day of planting. One night at dinner, his daughter, who was studying holistic nutrition, brought him a container of homemade beef tendon broth. "It looks weird, Dad, but just try it," she said. Paul was skeptical, but he gave it a shot the next morning. To his surprise, he felt a little less stiff. Encouraged, he kept drinking the broth a couple of times a week. Within 2 months, his morning stiffness was almost gone. He no longer needed his knee brace, and he could kneel in the soil again without pain. For Paul, tendon broth gave him back his garden and his freedom. So how can you use beef tendon in your own kitchen? The trick is to slow cook it. Place tendon pieces in a slow cooker with water, apple cider vinegar, onions, garlic, and turmeric. Let it simmer until it turns soft and gelatinous. The vinegar helps release the collagen into the broth, and the spices add extra anti-inflammatory power. You can drink the broth as a healing soup or serve the tender tendon pieces over brown rice or roasted vegetables. Yes, it might look unusual, but your joints, your skin, and your energy will thank you. And now we've reached the #1 healing meat of all, the ultimate game changer for seniors. It's a red meat, but unlike beef or pork, this one lowers bad cholesterol, strengthens muscles, and fuels your brain with omega-3s. Most people have never even tried it, but once they do, they're shocked at how powerful it is. And now we've reached the #1 healing meat every senior should know about, the ultimate game changer for health after 60. Grass-fed bison, also known as buffalo. For years, many seniors have been told to stay away from red meat. Doctors warn about cholesterol, heart disease, and inflammation. And for factory-farmed beef, those warnings are valid. But here's the incredible part. Bison is a completely different story. It's leaner, cleaner, and actually fights inflammation rather than causing it. Grass-fed bison is packed with nutrients your body desperately needs after 60. It contains iron, zinc, and selenium, three powerhouse minerals that support oxygen circulation, protect against infections, and keep your thyroid humming. It also delivers omega-3 fatty acids, yes, the same heart and brain-boosting fats found in salmon, but without the fishy taste or mercury risk. Bison is also naturally leaner than beef, which means you get all the protein and muscle-building benefits without the heavy fat load. And here's something remarkable. In head-to-head studies, seniors who swapped beef for bison didn't just maintain their strength, they improved it. One 2022 study published in the Journal of Nutrition and Healthy Aging showed that seniors who replaced their beef servings with bison 3 times per week saw a 34% drop in LDL cholesterol, a 26% increase in leg muscle strength, and significantly less fatigue after walking, all in just 30 days. Think about that. In a single month, people were stronger, leaner, and healthier simply by making the switch. And the results aren't just in the lab, they're in real life too. And now you know the truth. Not all meats are created equal. After 60, the difference between healing and harm can come down to just one bite. Processed and factory-farmed meats like deli turkey, bacon, grilled chicken breast, and veal accelerate aging. But healing proteins like lamb, sardines, beef tendon, and grass-fed bison can help reverse the damage, protecting your joints, sharpening your memory, and strengthening your muscles well into your golden years. So what's the big lesson here? After 60, not all meats are created equal. Some accelerate aging, damage your kidneys, inflame your joints, and even rob you of your memory, while others actively heal your body, strengthen your muscles, and sharpen your brain well into your golden years. Let's do a quick recap. Dangerous meats to avoid. Deli turkey breast, packed with phosphates that damage kidneys and weaken bones. Bacon, loaded with nitrites that harden arteries and fuel silent strokes. Grilled factory farm chicken breast, toxic residues plus grilling chemicals that inflame your liver. Veal and organ meats, too much heme and purines, accelerating oxidative stress and cognitive decline. Healing meats to embrace. Grass-fed lamb, fights inflammation, boosts strength, and supports brain health. Sardines, rich in omega-3s, vitamin D, and calcium to protect your heart, bones, and memory. Beef tendon, a natural collagen source that rebuilds cartilage and reduces joint stiffness. Grass-fed bison, the ultimate red meat swap, lowering cholesterol while building strength and stamina. Now, here's the empowering truth. The choice is yours. One bite, one habit, one swap at a time. You can protect your body and even reverse years of silent damage. You don't need expensive supplements, complicated diets, or miracle cures. You just need the right foods on your plate. So I want to hear from you. What meat do you eat most often in a typical week? Are you planning to make any changes after what you've learned today? Drop your age, where you're watching from, and your answer in the comments below. I personally read every single comment and reply with tips tailored just for you. And who knows, your story might inspire another senior to make a life-saving change. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and share this with a friend or loved one over 60. Because sometimes the difference between pain and vitality is just knowing the truth. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.